Hello, children. Good morning to all of you. I hope you all are having a good time in your homes. But studies are important, children. So, continue with our revision work, and I'll start today resource planning. Now, resource planning means a certain steps that we will take in order to use the resource. But that does not mean that we have to overuse the resource. We have to use the resource in such a way that there are always some resources left for the coming generation. So that means it must be a balanced use of resource, balanced and planned use of the available resources. Now this step is very necessary because all the resources are not equally distributed and all the resources are not found in the same quantity. At home also, children, they will find that there is variation in the resources that is available to a family. Like for example, money. Every day, every time we are not having access to the same amount of money. It varies from time to time. So we will always have to use resources in such a way that there is resources for the coming days, for the future generations. As we are studying in relation to India, children, so India as a country is no doubt having different kinds of resources. In class 9th, in the second chapter, children, we have studied that some parts are plain and having fertile soil, some areas are plateau and having mineral resources, the mountains are having water resources and forest wealth as well. There are some parts which are covered by desert sands, but they are having the potential to develop solar energy. The coastal belt can develop wind energy. They have access to the fisheries. They can also help in trading. So different parts of the country are having different kinds of resources. All these resources needs to be developed properly, utilized properly, and the most important thing, it needs to be distributed properly so that none of the part of the country feels alienated or feels that they have not got the share of the resources. And if this does not happen, then we will find that some parts of the country are very much developed and some parts of the country are still remaining underdeveloped. And this, in spite of all the steps taken by the government, we find that this is happening. The areas which are not developed properly, they are not having proper transportation routes, they are not having the other basic infrastructures like water supply, electricity supply, they do not have the proper homes. So this resource planning is very necessary so that the entire country is developed in a proper balanced way. Of course, there are some parts of the country which are very much developed and there are some parts which still lack proper development. They are the remote areas and they still do not have the basic necessities. Now this resource planning can be done through proper planning, and this planning is done by an organization, by one authority, and this authority does the survey work and takes steps, proper steps to implement the different plans. So in our country, previously it was the planning commission which used to do the survey work and take the necessary steps to develop the different sectors of the economy. Sometimes the transportation sector was given more attention, they got more allocation of funds. Sometimes the agriculture sector, sometimes the industrial sector. So in this way, different sectors are given proper funds for developing that sector. So the different sectors of the economy are developed through the steps taken by the Planning Commission, and the Planning Commission also allocates fund that has to be invested to develop that sector. And after a certain time duration, in our country generally it's 5 years, so after a certain time duration it is surveyed that how much work has been done and how much work needs to be developed. At present, it is the Niti Aayog who is doing the work. Now let us see the first stage of resource planning. The first stage of resource planning involves the surveying of the country. That is to find out which areas of the country has certain resources. Here resources means natural resources, and what areas of the country can be developed by utilizing the natural resources. So the first work is to survey, that is to find out which are the areas which are containing certain natural resources and which areas of the country lack the resources and which areas of the country can be easily developed by supplying these natural resources. So the first step is to survey, that is to find out, to find out the natural resources. The second step is equally important of resource planning. Now this step of resource planning needs a certain planning structure. That means we have to set certain steps so that we can develop that resource and utilize that resource. Now for this we require certain institutions. There are different institutions in our country who are engaged in research work to develop certain resources. Like for example, children, we have these IITs, we have these IIMs, we have agricultural universities who carry out research work to develop the different resources, to find out the different resources. We have the Geological Survey of India, which conducts survey from different parts of the country and try to find out the minerals in different part of the country and develop that mineral. So the first thing is to set up an institution, an organization who will do research work and who will try to extract that resource, develop that resource. But simple organization without any kind of knowledge and skill is incomplete. So for that we need skilled person. So you find that we have so many organizations, so many institutions, so many colleges, research institutions, those who are training the students, training the people so that they can develop the skill to develop that resource. And thirdly, we need technology. So we need institution. In the institution, the people are getting trained, the children, the students are getting trained, and in the third stage and in the third part of this second point is that proper technology needs to be developed. Without machine, without technology, work is incomplete. You all know, children, that India was having these natural resources since time immemorial. But we could not develop them because we neither had the skill nor we had the technology. And so the natural resources of our country got overexploited repeatedly by different invaders. So what is necessary is the proper institution, proper skill and proper technology. Children, when our country got independence and different iron and steel plants were being established, were set up in different parts of the country, we had to set up in collaboration with different world countries like Japan, Germany, Russia, England, even USA. And these countries not only helped us with money. They also helped us with technicians, with their people who trained our people and who provided us, aided us with technology. So now our country has become self sufficient to a great extent, and we can easily develop and use our own technology. There are so many children who are working in this organization, even abroad they are working, they are getting trained abroad, they are coming to India, and they are trying to develop the resources. And the third stage of resource development is that whatever resource is developed, we must see that it does not hamper the national development plan. So, in any case, it must not lead to losses. So, any resource that is developed, suppose we are constructing a dam, so we must also see that this dam does not prove difficulties for the government. Suppose a dam is constructed on a river, and that dam is storing the entire water of the river and is not providing water to the adjacent state, then this will create hindrances, problem, and this is occurring in our country. So whatever resource is developed, we must see it does not damage the country in any way, it does not lead to losses for the country. Suppose we are producing coal, we are extracting coal from the coal mines and we are supplying it to the industries. No doubt the industries, the iron and steel industry or the thermal power plants are flourishing, but we also have to see that the pollution that they are creating is not damaging the ecology of our country or the adjacent countries. So whatever resources are developed, they must develop keeping in mind the national development plans. So resource planning, you follow children, and the 3 stages of resource planning. First we have to find out the resource. Second, we have to develop that resource, means we have to take out and process that resource with the help of proper institution, proper skilled persons, and the use of technology, that is machines. And in the third stage, we have to see that the resource that we are developing is not hampering in any way the national development plans. It is not leading to losses, it is not leading to disputes between the states. So these are the 3 stages of resource planning in India. Then children, coming to the next topic, that is simple availability of resource is not enough. I mentioned this also in this discussion, that we must also see that we are having the supporting institution. We must also see that proper trained persons are there and the technology is available. And if all these things are there, we can easily develop the entire country, and proper attention must be paid to the backward regions of the country. The backward regions are still those parts of the country which are having a huge tribal population, and they are living in the dense forest, and they are still clinging to that old traditional way of life. They are not having the basic necessities. So our country must see that these backward areas are properly developed, properly taken care of, so that the entire Indian population get the benefits of the resource development plans of the government. Now, the history of colonization have made us known that our country was simply lacking in technology, and that was the main reason that our resources got exploited. And the developed countries, they had the resources. They did not have the resource, they did not have the resource, but they had the technology. And so they took the help of the technology and they reached to different countries of the world. And generally they tried to put their main attention to those countries which are having resources, but they are not having technology. And so they reached to those parts just by developing their naval power. They developed their naval power and they reached to the different parts of the world, and they tried to exploit the resource, took the resource, and they reached their country, making their country self-sufficient in the different resources. So our country had experienced this. We got exploited by different invaders, and so now it became known to us that our country should pay the utmost importance in developing not only the resources but also developing the skill of the human beings and develop technology. So now the most important thing is that it's not only enough to have resources, we also must see that we save the resources, we conserve the resources for the future generations. And this concept of resource conservation was very much reflected by Gandhiji, because he said that India is having sufficient resources for its own consumption. Similarly, the world is having sufficient resources for its own consumption, but there are some countries which are greedy, some societies are greedy, who are just stocking up these resources, stocking up the wealth, and they are becoming rich at the expense of the other country. And Gandhiji wanted that the production should be there by the people. Production should not be there by machines, because this will lead to unemployment. And Gandhiji existed at a time when there was very limited technology available in India, and the people generally worked in their homes, especially the handloom weavers. So Gandhiji wanted to provide livelihood, to provide employment and earning to these people. So he was against mass production. Mass production means production in machines and production in huge quantity. He was against mass production. He wanted production by masses, and here masses means the people. So children, we also find that this conservation of resource was also one of the main concern for other world countries also. So they also came forward and had published different kinds of material to make the entire world aware that resource conservation was necessary. So the first publication came from the Club of Rome in 1968. In 1974, one book was presented by Schumacher, Small is Beautiful. After that, we find that the Norwegian Prime Minister Brundtland, he also had put forward a report on sustainable development in 1987, and later on one book was published based on sustainable development, and it came to be known as Our Common Future. And then we had the 1992 report of Rio de Janeiro Earth Summit, which was held in Brazil. Now this Earth Summit thereafter came to be held every year in some part of the world or the other, in some country or the other, and all these members, the head of the states, either prime ministers or presidents attending it, they discussed the different problems related to resource availability, resource conservation, saving of the environment, saving resources for the coming generation, and controlling of different kind of diseases. Now like the earth is going through the pandemic phase where COVID-19 is gaining lot of attention, different world countries are coming forward to find out a vaccine, find a solution, and to overcome the economic losses that they have undergone. So in this way, children, the different world countries now work together, and we call it now a global village. And every country, although we are separated by political boundaries, we all have a common aim, that is world peace and making the earth a livable planet, a better planet for the coming generation. So children, we have completed the first part of first chapter. So next day I will start with the land resources. I hope children you have followed the video very well, especially those children who had missed it before. I am trying to cover all the points that we have done before. Thank you children. Have a nice day.